In the aftermath of the Acolyte being canceled by Disney, we've seen the mainstream media do everything in their power to try to blame that failure on fans. Blame the fans that they were bashing and attacking consistently. Blame the fans who they told, you know what, if you don't like this, don't watch it. Blame the fans who the media lied to about the Acolyte's success. And of course, we've seen it from almost every single one of these access outlets. But the most famous one over the past couple of days has been this Rolling Stone article. Can the best of Star Wars survive the worst of its fans? Essentially pinning the blame for why the Acolyte failed, why it got canceled by Disney, on racist, bigoted, misogynistic fans out there. The same spiel we've heard over and over and over again. And certainly the handful of people that actually want the Acolyte to get a second season, it's not a lot of them, but they are out there. They're making noise. They're trying to get the Acolyte renewed. That's what they've said too. Whether they're saying that Disney catered to this group of fans, they canceled our show even though so many people loved it, whatever cope they're trying to have. But one interesting person who reacted to this story, which is attacking Star Wars fans, which is blaming Star Wars fans who weren't interested in this garbage on the show getting canceled. And it was, of course, a character that we saw on screen. Vernestra Rowe, played by Rebecca Henderson. That actress has now responded and actually done the same exact thing. Blame Star Wars fans once again. The interesting part about Rebecca Henderson, not only was she an actress in this show, also Leslye Headland's wife, the showrunner's wife. And I know what you're thinking. I have an idea of maybe who taught Leslye Headland to hire people that you're sleeping with. I mean, Harvey Weinstein was, one of the guys that trained Leslye Headland, brought her up in Hollywood, Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant. Maybe that's where she got the idea from. However, she did decide to respond to some of these things. Not only did she share the Rolling Stones article that essentially says, blame the fans for the Acolyte's failure. Blame the fans, even though we gave you a terribly written dog shit show, even though we attacked you before it even came out, even though we said we don't need this audience anymore. We're after a different audience. Yeah, it must be the fans' fault. And then even went so far to share this tweet that did get a decent amount of attention. The worst part about the Acolyte being canceled isn't the cancellation itself, but knowing exactly which part of the Star Wars fan base Disney listened to in order to go ahead with this decision. Stop caving to pressure and stand your ground if you've made something bold for once. So not only pushing the idea that, well, it's just the bigoted racist fans that got this thing canceled, that's why our show failed, but also upset that Disney is not doing more to defend everyone involved with the Acolyte from all the backlash. This is Rebecca Henderson. Now, she's only got like 11,000 followers or something on Instagram. I don't know if Leslye Headland has any social media. I haven't really seen any. I don't think she's putting anything out. And certainly, just because they're married and just because she's in the show, I'm not going to say this is exactly coming from Leslye Headland herself. I am very much looking forward to when Leslye Headland, speaks out for the first time, breaks her silence on the cancellation of the Acolyte. But now you have one of the actresses involved who happens to be the showrunner, writer, director's wife. They're coming out and they're bashing fans, sharing articles that are bashing fans and calling fans racist and sexist for not wanting more of this shit. It is not going to stop here. There's going to continue to be fallout from this, whether it's the meltdowns we have on social media or when we finally do get people like Amanda Stenberg or Leslye Headland to finally speak their piece on what exactly went down. But can't be a great look, but this is what they do. They hate the fucking fans. They really do. They wish they didn't need us. But the truth is, and the Acolyte is proof of that, the modern audience cannot carry a Star Wars show. The modern audience, the mythical modern audience that you went out there to try to say, hey, these are the only people we need. These are the people we're going to appeal to. Those old fans that liked old Star Wars, we're done with them. On to bigger and better things. Apparently, you can't hack it if you don't actually have the vast majority of the fan base behind you.